Hi, my name's D. I review rums, and this is 1833. So what's going on, people? So last week I had a chat with you. I asked if the UK is safe for non-white people, and that was a good chat. So I'm gonna try to continue these little conversations with you. So they go. Got another Caribbean coffee. This time I got the Stades rum here from Barbados. The review this a few weeks ago. I'll link the review to the rum and chatters in the comments what have you below, or pop it up somewhere. And next review I have shortlisted is this one, Dorchada's. It's a Scottish rum apparently. So we'll go through that when it comes. So as I was thinking about last week and what we're going to talk about this week, I had a couple of things in mind. So today is a gloomy, grey, drizzly Saturday morning in London. It's also a bank holiday weekend, and in this August bank holiday every year in London we have the Notting Hill Carnival. And for a number of years, let me explain for those who don't know. So Notting Hill Carnival is a carnival that started, I should have got my fact check before coming on here. But from memory, I think the carnival started in the 70s or the 60s. I think it might be late 60s, early 70s it started. Maybe the mid 70s. And it was basically started by some of the people from the Caribbean. So in that part after the Second World War, when UK was rebuilding, they looked upon the colonies to come over to the UK to help rebuild and to help fill in some of the gaps in the workforce, what have you. And Notting Hill was one of the parts of London where there was a big Caribbean community, and there was some race tensions back then as well. And I think that kind of links to what I was talking about last week, because it's the same sort of thing where people don't really understand the relationship that the UK have with colonies and people of colour. So back then, if you were from the Caribbean or one from, I don't know if all the colonies, but certainly the Caribbean, you were a British citizen, so you have a British passport, have you? So the British people, they're like, yep, we want our subjects over in the Caribbean to come over and work in the motherland to rebuild and fix the motherland because it was ravaged and devastated from the war. So that's what they did. They came over. One of the most famous boats that people came over was a boat called the Windrush. That's a whole different scandal for a whole different conversation, whole different sets of problems that came after that. But if my memory serves me correctly, Notting Hill Carnival started around that time, the 60s, 70s, and it was in retaliation. It was all ways of bringing people together. Now that part of London was kind of run down at the time. Now today, that part of London, Notting Hill, is very upmarket, very gentrified. Now, I haven't looked in the marketplace, but I would hazard a guess you're not getting much change with £2 million and houses around there. Very, very, very affluent part of London. And so as time has progressed and it's got more and more gentrified, those big houses the black family used to live in have been split up, and the families have moved and they've been turned into luxury apartments, or they've been kept the same but they're worth £2, £3, £5 million. What you found is Carnival has changed. So I remember going Carnival in the 90s, even early 2000s. And Carnival go on, just go. There was like, I don't remember there ever being like an official ending time to Carnival. It would just start and it would just end at some time in the small hours of the morning. Now there's a curfew, ends at, I don't know what time, 7, 8 o'clock, some stupid time. Maybe around 9 or 10 actually, but ends at a silly time. Carnival used to be little around all the streets, you just wander around the streets, there'd be a sound system here, someone cooking jerk over there. Things just go on. It was as natural, it was as free flowing. Now there's a set route you follow through. very organised. It's, you know, it's the biggest street party in Europe. So you have, crime happens. I think less so than these days. There was a period of time where you'd often hear about stabbings. But I think that's happening less than this. But when you have like circa 1 million people, you know, a couple of hundred people getting involved in crime, what have you, is minuscule in as a percentage. I remember it, I probably still is, but the police around that time, and that's around the weekend, they sort of turn a blind eye to like people smoking weed and that sort of thing. So it's very communal. You'll see clips of policemen dancing and stuff. It's been a really nice time. But the point of this rant, this conversation of views, I believe in my lifetime that Carnival will be taken from the streets of Notting Hill and moved to a park, and the most natural park to put it in London would be Hyde Park. Now I say that because as these affluent people, this because it's been going on for so long, it's not something you can just do overnight. And so what happens is you chip away at it slowly, and that's what's been happening. Chipping away at the essence of Carnival. This year there's no Juve, and then what they're saying is, you know, it's an admin thing or whatever, back next year. But what happens is you're just chipping away at the essence of Carnival slowly. It's been taken away from being a Caribbean thing to now it's just a multicultural thing, and I don't like that. No, I don't like that. I don't like the fact that you have Latin American sort of things in there. I don't like the fact you have African things in there. It's just supposed to be kind of, I sound like a Luddite, but you know, different communities can do their own things. And you don't have to lump all non-white communities into one pot and say, right, there's your thing, you all just share this. I don't think that needs to be the case. I think each community, if they want to have something, they have something and highlight their thing. So if I want to go see a Latin American thing, a Latino thing, I'll go and experience that and enjoy that. If I want to see something, an African thing, I want to go and enjoy it and experience that. I don't want it to be amalgamated and sort of blended down and watered down to sort of fit into what no. And vice versa, I don't want a Caribbean thing watered down to. So that's my stance on that. So, as I'm saying, you're not going to have it just go to Hyde Park. But as you've seen, as I've sort of described, they're chipping away at things, chipping away little by little at what Carnival is. And the inevitability is that at some point in my lifetime, they'll use all these excuses, and they'll use the excuse of things like safety. They'll use the things, they'll probably make it, I can also imagine it being ticketed as well, actually. So they can see and know who's going there. I'm not sure if it'll be a paid event, but I wouldn't be surprised if they make it a paid event as well, to cover the resources of the police and what have you. I don't think that's long coming. I think it's coming. I think it'll be coming in my lifetime. I want to put a number on it, a number of years, but I would say that's coming, and I think that would be sad. I think that when it becomes a park event, the uniqueness of it being a street party is that it has a sort of flow to it. Has a sort of, it's almost living. If it comes in a park, it becomes very static, and it just won't have the same feel, the same vibe. So that's my rant on that, the Carnival. It'll be sad when it happens. I do honestly think it's a when and not an if. So it'll be sad when it happens, but I think it will happen at some point in a not too distant future, and I'm not looking forward to it.